Season 12, Episode 8. Let's not waste any more time, folks, and let's dive into Marissa and Edward first. This one's an interesting one.
The last few days, a lot of concerns have come into my brain, but I started thinking, what if he's not prepared? What if I'm going to take on another child in my life? Things that I really need Edward to step up with is just being a man,
She needs Edward to step up and be a man. She needs to feel like he's not another child that she's raising in her household. Do you know what Marissa isn't understanding here, folks? What she's not understanding is that if she wants him to be a man and step up to be the man, which to be fair, based on what we've seen so far, he definitely does lack certain qualities that I would expect him to want to do as well as a man. But does she not understand that whenever she speaks to him and speaks about him, she must speak to him and about him as if he's actually a man and not as if he's a child? But you see, if he's not responding to certain things that she's obviously saying, maybe it's because she's not speaking to him with a level of respect that you would with a grown-up person. She's talking to him as if he's actually her son, and when she talks to him and talks about him, it's as if he's a son. So therefore it means that she is literally reinforcing in her own mind that she must talk to him as if he's a child, and therefore even if he was to actually become this man that she wants, would she even be able to put on her glasses and actually see it? Because the thing is, if her mindset is already built on the fact that she's raising another child, well then that means even when he shows that he's the man that she's looking for, she may not even see it. And also on top of that, she wants to talk so intelligently about the fact that she wants to make sure that this is the right guy and this guy is not a boy. Well, here's the thing though. She said last week this whole time they have gotten to know each other before she finally brought him to America to meet her kids, to meet her family. She said that she understands that their relationship was pretty much honeymoon stage because they were always living in resorts, always living the La Vida Loca, and never actually got a real chance to really experience each other in actual environments. So really and truly, if she has put herself in a position where she's with a man that is immature and that is therefore a child, well, guess what, buddy? You did it to yourself because you didn't court the situation properly. But let's continue. Marissa.
being a strong man in my life and start doing things on his own without me holding his hand through every step of the way.
Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? The power of speech, the power of words. You're referring to him. Let's play that again. Play that back. The way she words everything says everything.
Being a strong man in my life and start doing things on his own without me holding his hand through
without me holding his hand. Why the hell are you saying holding your hand? Why the hell are you saying holding your hand? You shouldn't be saying these things. You should be saying something like, listen, since Edward has been here and since he's been here, since we've been living together, I've noticed a few things. And some of these things I would like to see if we can work on them together. Some of these things I'd like to see if they can improve. That's it. But to say that I'm holding his hand, again, it's giving out the energy that you're only going to see him as a child. So at the end of the day, Marissa, you have to also understand the flaw in your approach.
Every step of the way. This looks like a disaster. I mean, not tomorrow, not like, like in an hour. Like I need it completely clean now because I'm like mortified. What are you thinking?
So Edward decided to go and fix her fence, amongst other things. She wasn't happy with that work. And again, I won't lie to you, the work he did was absolutely horrendous. But the way she talks to him is not cool. She wants him to not get rid of this table. She was like, I want you to do it today. I'm like, hold on a minute. Who the hell do you think you are? If you spoke to me like that, I'd be like, whoa, hold on a minute. We are equals here, okay? We are both adults here. If the job I've done here is not your satisfaction, that is fine. Just tell me in a way that's respectful. If you want me to move this stuff out of the way because of X, Y, that is fine, but speak to me respectfully. But the way she likes to word herself is absolutely ugly, horrible. I don't know how her ex survived being with her. Oh boy.
How would you expect to be in a big city all alone with no money, like be there to help you? I don't think Edward is a planner. I think, and what's most concerning
regarding the whole money situation. So here's the thing. Marissa, she lives in a whole different location, but then she works all day in New York. And now they're going to New York for the first time. You know, obviously she's going to work. He's going to be out there, obviously exploring New York by himself. So she's obviously bringing up the questions regarding his finances. Okay, so what are you going to do there? Have you got a wallet? Have you got any monies? Have you got a bank card? Have you got a credit card? And again, the way she conducts herself towards him just isn't cool. Why couldn't she be like, okay, so we're going to New York, obviously. I'm going to be at work. Now, obviously, when I work, do you have any ideas of things that you like to do when you're there? He can be like, yeah, I'm going to do this, this, and that. And then she'd be like, okay, cool, that makes sense. Are you sure you got all the money that you need? Do you need a credit card? Blah, 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 blah. Just speak to me in a way that just says you're being a partner, not being a parent. She talks to him as if she's a parent, not a partner. She knows that this is the first time he's going to be going to New York. She knows that he's not going to know necessarily how expensive it may be for him to get certain things. She knows already that clearly he doesn't have a wallet. She knows these things, so why not just say, hey, babe, so obviously going to New York, I'm just going to let you know there's going to be a bit of price. And I know obviously you're not working and I am, so here's the credit card. Please respect the limit, okay? And just go and enjoy yourself. So, I don't know, something simple. But nah, she's got to break it down. So, do you have any money? So, do you have a wallet? Do you have a credit card? Oh, my days. Interrogating the poor guy. And honestly, this season so far, I have not been a fan of Edward. And I still probably aren't a fan of him, to be honest, because he does have a lot of mannerisms that are quite childlike. Because when it comes to using your own initiative, Edward doesn't have that skill. But at the same time, though, you're in a relationship with this man, so therefore you must respect him. The same way he is the same way he is respecting you, in fact.
For me is that I don't want to always have to worry, is Edward prepared for this scenario? Is Edward prepared? And I don't want to have another child. I think one of the challenges with us is that we just live very, very, very different lifestyles.
No, one of the challenges is that you're not thinking about how you can bring both of your lifestyles together, how you can find that middle ground, how you can both help strengthen each other's strengths, how you can make his lifestyle and your lifestyle into a team. This is the problem. She's too busy nitpicking at what he's doing wrong rather than being like, you know what, here's a solution. But then again, I understand when it comes to solution, that's more of a masculine trait or more of a man's trait than it is a woman's trait, give or take. But either way, though, she's obviously somebody that is cleared in the masculine area, right? So therefore, instead of belittling him and doing what she's doing, why not just give him a solution? This woman is full of absolute gibberish.
Challenges with us is that we just live very, very, very different lifestyles. Me in Pennsylvania, dealing with the children, which is essentially a full-time job, running a company.
It's okay, let me help you now.
I think the biggest thing that I'm hoping that you can do is really figure out how to be self-sufficient.
Although I do agree with her, he definitely needs to work on that. Again, though, how you communicate is so key.
You decide have the kind of life that you have. You live in two different cities at the same time, you know?
I'm gonna stop you. I didn't choose to get married to Michael and then get divorced. That was not my intention. The complete family with two parents, two incomes, and divorce, like my whole life flipped upside down.
You know, sometimes in life, when you ask someone a question, you should let them finish. You see, she simply asked him a question and she didn't even let him finish. Straight away, she's already cutting him up. Interesting.
And I had to...
the things I just tried to say right now is like, life gotta be tough, you know? There's a lot of inconvenience all the time. This is life.
I have to make...
You see, she didn't even let him land his own point. He wasn't judging you for your life choices or how your life has turned out to be. He's simply saying that obviously this is how your life is running right now. But we don't need to overcomplicate. We don't need to make it so tough, so challenging. You are choosing to do this. Can we not just find a way to just relax? But the problem is though, because he so far has not displayed a trait of using his own initiative, his own common sense, I can understand why she probably has that doubt. Why she probably thinks that when he says what he said, he's probably saying it in a way of like, well, I just want to be lazy, rather than saying it in terms of the way, and rather than saying it regarding the fact that he just wants to just enjoy life, which is two different things. So to be fair, Edward has not helped himself in this situation, but at the same time, he still does not grant her the ability to be conducting herself in the way she is.
Make a decision if this is the right path for me, and this is a big leap of faith.
And every single bloody week at this point, I'm pretty sure she keeps using this whole card about, and I've got to make sure that I know that this is the right decision for me. How many times is she going to keep using this card? It's like that's a tool that she's using on purpose. It's like she hopes that if she keeps kind of threatening the idea that these two may not work and she may send him back home, it will put him in a position where he's going to be like, okay, no, I'm going to behave because I want to be here. Stop using that tool of, oh, I just got to make sure we're good for each other. If you're in a position with somebody and you always have to say, I just want to make sure we're good for each other, you're probably not good for each other. Well, no, scratch that. The person saying it is probably not good for you, just you. If you're with somebody that says that to you, walk away. Walk away. Because that is a tactic of control. Understand this. But now we're going to move on to the next one. And this one here is all about Mallorie and Rasit. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to Mallorie and Rasit, a lot of people have been against Mallorie for the most part. And I completely get it why. But there has been a recurring theme when it comes to Rasit that I've been pointing at every single week. And that is how he decides to conduct himself. He's another one. And I don't like the way he conducts himself. It's either his reaction is violent related, or his reaction is, but I left my country, so I need this and that. But the thing is that when he talks about I left my country, need this and that, the expectations that he has financially are just not realistic. Let's dive into this week's one.
Maybe we need to also look at like cheaper ones. Do we really need something so fancy?
Yes, baby.
Can you just hold it? I know you want. There's a lot of money. I need you to understand that.
You don't listen.
This is not.
Bear in mind, he wants this. Is it a budget? Yeah, you know, the seat that you sit on and you do your number 2 and then it washes you. And obviously, you know, they found for $800, but she's saying that that's too much, which is fine. If she knows that she can't afford it, then she can't afford it. Respect it. But instead of him respecting the fact that she doesn't want to afford that, what does he do? What does he do?
Accident money, but we can use now. You are rich.
Now, just to remind you folks, now Mallorie has spoken about how she had an accident before, and after having the accident, she then claimed money. So now she's got money she's got money in her bank account, but she has given that money to someone who it wasn't a broker. You know when you give your money to an account and then like the money stays in that account, but then they can build up the interest in it, something along those lines. Anyway. Obviously, she can still access if she wanted to, but obviously she doesn't want to do that because obviously she wants it to grow for the foreseeable, which is a very smart thing to do. But this guy here, because he really wants this $800 budget seat or whatever, he's like, oh, you should use it because you're rich. Excuse me? I'm the one that was in an accident. I'm the one that was given that money because I was in an accident. So therefore, I have decided to put that money somewhere where it can be invested. And you want to tell me how to use you're mad. Now, don't get me wrong. When you are in a relationship with somebody, when you're in a marriage with somebody, the finances that you have, yes, generally speaking, you combine them. But that comes with... But then there are exceptions. This one is one of those exceptions. This is money that she's using for the greater good. But this guy has the audacity to sit there, not only to say to her, you should use that money because you're rich, but...
Really?
Current settlement from the car accident. It's not like I'm some multimillionaire. I wish. It doesn't exist. That money is in a brokerage account that I can barely access for a reason because if any normal person would. And it really irritates me and gets under my skin that he thinks this is just money that we can blow.
I would feel the same way. Give me your thoughts. Would you not feel the same way? Because I know I bloody would.
On stupid easy access.
So I am not
to it.
special. You know, I left my country for you. I don't have money. I don't have car.
My money, and I want to be able to build a future for myself on it. And if he's in that future, then great. But
And the fact that he does this every other week. Every other week. I left my country. So, did you want a medal for that? You left your country because you want to pursue a relationship with Mallorie. It's that simple. Now, of course, there are certain things that he's going to require that he cannot get yet in the United States, which is completely understandable. But this ain't one of those things. This is far from one of those things. But maybe I'm moving mad. Give me your thoughts on the matter itself in particular. But as far as I'm concerned, nah, he's doing too much. Pure manipulative. Manipulative. Yes, I'm saying it right. Yes. But give me your thoughts on that one, folks. Come on now. But now we're going to move on to the next one. This one here is now all about Ashia and Maxwell. And right now, she's doing herself no favors.
You know, when you come to a Nigerian family and then you address an elderly person as, hey, you know, it makes the person seem like you're talking to a dog. How's my mom?
To be fair, if you wake up and everybody's having breakfast or whatever in the morning, the first thing you're going to say is good morning. You're not going to say hey. So I can understand the just disrespect that his mother's feeling in this situation.
Mom is going to kill you. You say it's this whole thing about respect, you know. So
The first time I met them, like I'm calling them mom and dad. And so why did he tell me to greet them a certain way the first time?
I've never known somebody to be told that they need to greet someone by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is your day today? How are you? Like, what? Each time this woman talks, the brain cells seem to just be exiting every single time. But the problem is, the biggest problem, folks, is very simple. The biggest problem is that she wants everyone to respect her, but she doesn't give a damn about her respecting others. And that is where this woman is simply nothing but moving mad. But let's get into it.
That's crazy to me. I've seen you. I've already spoken. I'm like, enough already.
Really?
you being disrespectful to them,
No,
you know.
they might just have a misunderstanding.
What kind of learn the culture?
Sweetie, quit yelling in my ear.
I think I need to yell so that it will stick in your head because it's not sticking.
You keep on. Never.
How can somebody not acknowledge that they're being disrespectful? And the maddest thing is, the things that he's asking for are so simple. All he's saying is, when you see my mum and you see my family, just say good morning, good afternoon, say yes, madam, thank you, madam, or whatever the words was. That's it. Simple as that. And also, she wants to be with a man from Nigeria, but yet doesn't want to respect the culture. Why are you with a man from a different country if you're not even going to try and respect or understand the culture? Too busy talking gibberish left, right, and center. You put this man in a position where he now had to raise his own tone, but you're not listening to what he's saying. Because why? Because you're not respecting him. You want to marry him because God says that you two should be together, but yet you don't want to respect. Oh, wait. Let me leave that line. Hold on a minute.
Has Maxwell raised his voice at me like this, and it's very disappointing that not only is he questioning the relationship, but to me it's as if he's questioning God.
That's why I said let me hold that line. The way she was like, oh, because he's behaving the way he's behaving now must mean that he's not respecting God. Huh? So that means, technically speaking, you not respecting his family means you're not respecting God as well. Because why would God put you in a position to be with a man that he wants you to be with if you're not then going to respect his family? Because that means you're not respecting God as well, but you're not respecting his family. The same way you think and the way you say that he's not respecting God because now he's questioning his relationship with you. He's questioning the way you behave. You see how that works there? Woo! Let's continue with this calamity.
Surprised to hear that Ashia is approximately 40. Like for Maxwell, or you want to see someone about 25 up to 30, 35.
So the family has found out for the first time that Ashia is 38 years of age, and that's something they are not happy with.
Marry old age, they cannot take care of their children in that old age.
To be honest with you, this would be Maxwell's own doing, because he should know. He should know better. He knows that his family's going to expect children. So for him to choose to be with someone that is 38, which even though that's not like a bad age, because you can still have kids at 38, for the most part, I know that can be subject dependent on the female. But yeah, if anything, this has nothing to do with Ashia, to be honest. This is all down to their son. Because at the end of the day, guess what? There's one thing in this life that never goes down, and that is our age. It never goes down, so it's not going to be reversed.
I'm at the age of 30 maximum. Since nothing at the door.
And menopause too. That's why late marriage is not all that good. And some of them ended it not giving birth.
I'm curious though, what the hell are they expecting Aisha's mum to do about this? What's she supposed to do about it? Do you want her to track back a couple, like 30 30 years back and then make another daughter? And this is for the future of the... listen, the whole thing's messy. The whole thing is it's just stupid.
Maxwell and Ashia will not go further to do what they plan to do. They obey Mama.
Well, the mama has spoken. She says at this phase you cannot go any further because kids are... Well, one, because she's too old to have kids, because if she has kids, she'll be too old to look after them, apparently. So I didn't realize 38 would be too old to look after kids, but okay, cool. And then also on top of that, because of the potential menopause, because the menopause coming at some point, also must mean that they may not be able to have as many kids as maybe the family wants them to have. I don't know. Either way, though, it seems to me as if Maxwell needs to have a serious conversation with the woman that he claims to want to be his wife, because this is going to be one hell of a roadblock. But I will say this though to Ashia: would God put you with a man that's going to put you in this predicament? Let's think about that. And also, to be fair, does she even want kids? That's also a very good question. Either way, though, please do let me know your thoughts. And for those people that will be like, I don't like people that make fun of the Almighty himself, well, then go away. Now with that being said, let's move on to the next one. And this one here is Annabelle and Shea. And let's just say his daughter definitely had fun with this one.
Have you called Nicole about getting her stuff out of the shed?
Oh, I haven't had time to deal with that either.
I didn't know that. Because I want her stuff to out today.
His daughter done him dirty. See, snitched. So remember your ex-wife? Remember her stuff in the shed? Have you shifted it yet? And she knows full well that her father hasn't. She knew full well, but let's dive into it more.
You just called her right now.
I'm enjoying poking at them and starting arguments because she moved from the Philippines to be with my dad. I really like her so far, and I feel like he's not being truthful and she's not asking questions, and there's stuff that needs to be said and done.
Although the daughter's obviously doing this for whatever intention she's doing for, I don't actually blame her per se, because to be honest with you, Annabelle deserves to know the full truth. She deserves to know whether or not it's worth her marrying this man and staying in America. So to be fair, letting the truth come out is actually a very good thing. Obviously, the intention behind it, subjective, but at the end of the day, this is something that's either going to make or break people, and I think it's very important for Annabelle to know this thing before she decides that she actually wants to marry him. Now, of course, we do know that these two do end up getting married anyway in real time, we saw it, right? But it's good to know that so far it's looking like their marriage is happening because the daughter started coughing up things, so Annabelle can really get to the root of things. And I will say this, so far, if you've seen what he looks like right now, that being Shea, he's lost a significant amount of weight, and that will be due down to the fact that Annabelle has been looking after him very well. Man, he's lucky that she's walked in his life, to be honest with you. He needs to not take her for granted, you know what I mean? And the reason I point this out is because at the beginning of this episode, Shea talked about how he hasn't been out with his friends in a while, drinking and partying and watching the games, and each time they ring him, he has to keep saying no, but Annabelle was like, no. But to be fair, it's been for the greater good of his health, which is great stuff, you know what I mean? But let's continue.
On the couch, I'm just going to take a few pictures from it, upload and put it on the internet. I'm going to try to sell it.
And then you sell it, and then she will come here to get the money?
No.
Now, he did ring the ex, and she said, well, I can't get it right now. But here's the thing, though. His daughter did say that he's a pushover. And Annabelle's also noticed that he's a pushover. And that is why he can't say no to people a lot of the time. But obviously, Annabelle was trying to, be like, listen, if anyone's going to push you over, it's only going to be me moving forward. And that's why she's poking the bear more and more, trying to get him to make the right choices. Which, to be fair, some people need this level of treatment. So it's making more and more sense why their relationship will become and continues to become more sustainable, if that makes sense. Because each time she confronts him about anything, even though he needs the push, he does get the job done. Do you see what I'm saying? Which is the positive.
You're still hoping her, right?
I mean,
Not empty, but if she doesn't want to come here to get that
if you
stuff,
call it helping, it's
throw
going
it in the dump.
I agree. I'm with Annabelle. Throw it in the dump. Throw it in the dump. But you know what, though? Let's recognize a pattern here. We spoke about Marissa. Marissa speaks about and speaks to Edward as if he's a child because of the way he is. Then we got Annabelle. Annabelle is with Shea. Shea is pretty much a child himself in particular, to be honest, in his own way. But she will still speak to him as an equal. She will still say to him, no, but this has to stop. You don't see her saying silly comments like, oh, I feel like I'm with a child. You don't hear none of those comments. Any comment that, any way phrases to implying that he's a child or immature or whatever, right? She's just saying, nah, it's good. I'm gonna put you right, buddy. I'm gonna put you right. See, Marissa could learn a thing or two from Annabelle here, of how to speak to people.
I want to tell you, but the last 4 years, like, y'all have been engaged and they've also been hanging out, you know? Goes out on the boat with him sometimes and they text sometimes and...
The way this girl's not holding back is savvy. But I love it.
With his friends, some old friends, but I didn't know that Nicole is there.
Yeah, it's because he would turn the camera to what he wanted you to see. The fact that she's taking my dad away from me, I do feel bad for Annabelle. So I'm telling her the entire truth because she deserves the truth. Like, I came home 4 years ago from the Philippines engaged, but it was like living dope.
And to be fair, at the end of the day, you know, due to the activities and behaviors that he's been displaying here, he deserves to know. Again, regardless of what the daughter's intention is, Annabelle still deserves to know. And she was going to find out one way or the other, and you know what, and to be fair, this time around, do you know what the good things that actually come out of this is that the daughter's obviously going to have a way to open her mouth, you know, because that's what she does. But the good thing about it is that this also put Annabelle in a position where she feels comfortable enough to go knock on, I forgot his daughter's name. Anyway, to go and knock on Shea's daughter's door and say, listen, tell me the truth. I want to know everything. So I like the fact that Annabelle was then being given that comfortability to go and approach the daughter by herself to have a full-on conversation. That's good stuff though, because that means that they can build a relationship moving forward together, which is always going to be key when you're with somebody that has kids or a child, and grandkids for that matter.
Double laughs. Like, if I figured out that I was being lied to by a man that had been engaged with me for 4 years, yeah, see ya. I've heard him like tell her like he loves her.
But there was no need for that one. Was there any need for that one? Damn, this girl been doing too much. She's a slow her roll, okay? This doing too much. Now you're really trying to break them up. Come on now, come on. But then again, at the same time though, is she wrong for giving the full-on truth? Because at the end of the day, who wants to marry somebody that is still in love with somebody else? You shouldn't, especially if that person's actively in your area. It's very different if somebody's still in love with somebody else that's like somewhere you're never going to see them ever again, compared to somebody that is literally like there and still in texting mode or whatever. So to be fair, maybe she wasn't wrong by snitching on that too. Give me your thoughts though. How would you feel if you was in the same position where, you know, your child is snitching on every single thing that you're doing? I really want to know. But we're now going to move on to the last one. This one is all about Catie and Josh. This one's a tough one.
Recognizing it, but I'm also thinking that like when we were in Berlin, like you guys did whatever you did, and you know I got an apology after that, and then it happened a couple more times.
So this is the guy that she went to Berlin with to do the running thing, and then when they were in Berlin, so before Berlin they'd already kissed. He told them not to do it. They go to Berlin and then they kiss again, but he didn't say kiss this time. He said, you guys did what you did. I do wonder then. So that means they probably went the full mile by the sounds of it. But this guy still stuck around?
Happy to just leave it in the past if that suits both of you.
If it suits both of you, does he not understand that he's the one that's actually being insulted here? The only person that should be asked about living in the past is you. You should be the person being asked that question. Not you asking the two people who made the crime, but then to make it worse, what does Catie go and do?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, Catie?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, Catie?
Do you think I can make out with everyone I know?
I think.
Like, what's the point here, guys? Like, what is the point? Who puts themselves in these positions? Buddy, just bounce, just leave. What are you doing? The disrespect is... there needs to be a word that is worse than disrespect. Because what she's doing here is far worse. Give me a word that is worse than disrespect. Oh, crap. Give me a word that is worse than disrespect. Let me see. What's going on here?
For a word that's worse than disrespect, consider contempt.
Contempt. Contempt. While disrespect is simply a lack of respect or courtesy, contempt goes a step further by combining disrespect with intense disgust or feeling that the other person is entirely worthless. Contempt. Absolutely contempt. This is ridiculous. But Josh, I don't feel sorry for you, but you is a fool.
I think it's a bad idea.
Because
No, we're not kissing Katie. No.
Katie's horrible.
Being crazy is the best.
First she goes in there, sits on the guy's lap, tries to kiss a random guy, and then goes to kiss the same guy that she just said that she's not going to touch again. Hold on a minute. Give me a word that is worse than contempt. I need to know if there's one. But this has to go a step further, folks. Oh, I can't even say that one. Damn. It's appearance, or vilification. Okay. Appearance, vilification. While contempt means looking down on someone as worthless, abhorrence is a feeling of extreme hatred and moral disgust, while vilification is the active, malicious, destructive of someone's character. That is the word. That is the word. Damn. I just hope I'm pronouncing it right, but my reading is a horrendous. Reading's never been my strong point. Clearly.
No, I'm being crazy.
You're being crazy. I'm giving Katie a lot of slack. And already it feels a little bit like that's being thrown in my face.
Give me a word for somebody that is the total fool. I need this. I can't even say the word. NINCOMPOOP. Or now my star's coming in. Ignomorous. Yeah, let's just go NINCOMPOOP. What is wrong? I can't say words right now. Maybe I'm just too frustrated.
I want
This is itself to be patient and tolerant, trusting that underneath all the rubbish and all the silliness, Katie is actually developed.
Try to wrap around like what would it be like to be in your position, and I'd be furious. I'd be yanking her out of the bar. I'd be like, no, we're going home.
Is that what you'd be doing? No, I'd be leaving her there and never seeing her again. Simple as that. Simple as that. But at the same time, I wouldn't even put myself in this position because I'm not a clown. I'm not a nincompoop. Nincompoop. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have, and that's kind of the issue, right? Is she has that charm, and if you're always rolling over, going on with how she's living, just because she thinks that's acceptable, right?
Dylan.
Oh, wait, no.
I'm going to you.
No, Katie.
I want you to pay attention. You see his hand here. You see my guy's hand. You see this, right? Look at how much restraint he has to put on her to stop her from trying to kiss him. The amount of force that she's trying to put onto him is ridiculous. And even the fact that he has to bend back.
No, you have a fiance. I think Katie is. She's tonguing my ball.
What am I doing wrong?
I think you're.
She wants to know what she's doing wrong, folks. I'll let you answer that question. With that being said, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hype the video. Try and have a good day, because after watching that garbage, I don't know if I'm gonna have I'm going to the gym and I'm gonna think about Katie's disgust. Yeah. May or break some PRs. Who knows? Thank you so much, folks. Have a great day.